Greetings metalheads and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George. Today I'm back with another band you need to hear recommendation. Another band, if you've not heard this particular outfit, never heard this music, then you seriously need to check this band out. It's essential. So this particular band in question then, currently they've only got one full-length album under their belts. It was released only a couple of months ago, in fact. A band that is definitely part of this revival movement of traditional heavy metal, but with a little bit of a twist. Actually, with a lot of originality and a lot more of a unique sound and approach, as opposed to a lot of bands part of that kind of revival movement that do tend to sound a little bit samey. But this band in question, from the UK, in fact, from the United Kingdom, we have Tailgunner, and this is the debut album. This is entitled Guns for Hire. Great album cover there. Really like that. As I say, this just came out a few months ago. I think it was in July. This is out on Fireflash Records, and this particular incarnation is a really nice digipack CD version. Show you that. Very cool. Very nice package. So I'll line up them. These are the guys here, the guys in question there, lined up. So we've got Sam S on drums, we've got Zach Salvini on guitars, we've got Patrick Vollering on guitars, we've got Thomas Hewson on bass, and Craig Cairns on vocals. So there's the guys, looking traditional. I'm seeing the traditional outfits. Looks like we've got cut-offs. So we've got spikes and belts and all that good sort of stuff. Yeah, looking pretty metal. There's a cool shot of the guys on the back there as well. So as I was saying, this is definitely a band that's part of that kind of revival movement of playing traditional heavy metal. Very much NWOBHM worshipping heavy metal. You know, there's a serious nod as well to the European sort of metal, heavy metal as well, and power metal. But what's really cool about Tailgunner is that they don't just sound like Iron Maiden, they don't just sound like Judas Priest, they don't just sound like Saxon or Diamond Head or Tigers of Pantang. They're not trying to rip anyone off here. They're not trying to just emulate that same sound. And, you know, there's a lot of great bands out there that are part of this kind of new wave of traditional heavy metal, this kind of revival movement, really led by bands like Enforcer from Sweden, of course. But then we've got other bands such as Toledo Steel and numerous other bands that are really bringing it back, playing good old traditional heavy metal. But Tailgunner, and certainly on this particular album, we've got a real good mix. There's a little bit of a power metal element there as well. I just don't think you can dispute that. There is a power metal vibe to some of these tracks. There's a lot of melodicism here. These are very melodic songs, melodic metal, and it's great. Vocally, Craig is a good vocalist, definitely. He's got a really, I'm going to say it's quite a distinctive voice, actually. He's not a Halford, he's not a Bruce Dickinson. He's got a unique sound, definitely. But he is a very good singer, very capable. I'm sure that he's only going to get better over the years and with more practice or experience, whatever. But a very capable vocalist. Musicianship, then, the band is tight. The riffs are great, the drumming is precise, and the bass is thunderous and provides that good kind of thick undertone to the sound. Really talented bunch, actually. And as a debut album, this is a freaking strong statement. I will say, I've been listening to this album, daily. I'm going to say daily, over the last couple of weeks since I purchased it. And I wasn't really sure if I could actually include this as a band you need to hear based on the one album, but I've done it before. I don't care. Tailgunner and Guns for Hire are certainly essential listening. Definitely. So this album then, as I say, very melodic. It's got a lot of great rhythms, a lot of melodies. It's really easily palatable metal. You know, heavy metal can sometimes be a little bit more abrasive if we listen to bands such as Raven or Motorhead, depending on if you class them as heavy metal or not, or Venom. You know, essentially they were a heavy metal band, black metal or not, but you know, heavy metal undertone. It can be a bit kind of more abrasive. Here we've got plenty of twin guitar harmonies and melodies. We've got great soaring vocals, immense hooks galore, an absolute arsenal of catchy choruses and really hooky elements. It's absolutely brilliant stuff. Really cannot fault it. So the album itself is actually produced by, mixed and produced by the band, I should say, backtrack, produced by Tailgunner. All tracks mixed and mastered by Olaf Wickstrand of Enforcer. So, you know, keeping it in the family, really, keeping it in the revival movement heavy metal family. Talented guy. It's very good. It's a very good production job, I must say, and it's really well mixed and put together. You cannot fault that at all. So kicking off the album, we get an absolute monster of a melody in the track Shadows of War. Huge chorus, very catchy, but it's very, very melodic, and it does have a little bit of a power metal kind of tinge to it. It's definitely not galloping, full throttle heavy metal. It's not your heavy metal thunder, nor is it Am I Evil. It's certainly a more melodic track. I'm not going to try and compare it too much to, give examples, but it's a very, very melodic track. It's a good stomping track. You know, it's great. You cannot fault it. Things definitely pick up in terms of pace with the title track Guns for Hire. Again, choruses. Colossal choruses. Really great, memorable stuff. The pace quickens yet further with White Death, track number 3 there, which is, it's a bit of an album highlight for me, to be honest. It's a real heavy metal stomper. It's got that kind of Saxon influence to it, definitely, and the pace is faster. The riffs are really, really catchy, really strong stuff. Then we've got Revolution Scream. Now that's an interesting one because, again, it's very melodic, and it does sound modern heavy metal, but I can't quite get over one slight sort of resonance in the music. One band that it really reminds me of is probably not necessarily the first band that comes to mind when you think modern sort of revival heavy metal in the traditional style, but it really brings Bullet for My Valentine to my mind, and I don't know if it's because of a particular melody, a particular chorus. I don't know what it is, but Revolution Scream reminds me of Bullet for My Valentine. Listen to that track and maybe you'll see what I mean. Maybe you'll hear it too. Future's Lost, another brilliant one. A real heavy metal number. A real powerful, grab the cut off, headbang worthy track. A brilliant one. New Horizons is great. Warhead, we get another particular album highlight here. Again, very catchy. Great riffs. Fantastic stuff. That's a bit more of a faster paced. Yeah, there's a few moments here that are a little bit sort of speed metal in a way, in a sense, and the Warhead is one of those. Crash Dive has a massive, monstrous chorus, very memorable, great stuff, proper sing-along heavy metal, just really good. And I love the lyrical themes there, of course, about the subs. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely cannot fault that. Blood for Blood, another heavy metal stomper. But one of the album highlights has got to be the closing track, an epic in the form of sort of 8-9 minutes of just brilliance, entitled Rebirth. Now that particular track reminds me so much of modern sort of post-Bruce rejoining the band Iron Maiden. It brings Brave New World, Final Frontier, that kind of very big, very melodic, very engaging heavy metal. With those fantastic vocal harmonies and melodies. It's absolutely brilliant. It really brings that to the forefront. And there's some really beautiful guitar work as well on that track. Some really nice leads, really ambient stuff. Really, really memorable. And seriously strong. When you consider, again, like I said, this is the first album. This is the debut album. This is a strong, heavy metal album. With a lot of melodicism, with a bit of a power metal injection, with a little bit of a speed metal injection as well. it just kind of shows the originality. They're not just trying to rip off Saxon and Tigers of Pantang. They're not just going for that kind of replication. They're pushing the boundaries. They're drawing influence in my ears, anyway, in my mind. I'm picking up the influence of modern heavy metal in the terms of, you know, more recent Maiden or even potentially Bullet for My Valentine. You know, they're moving with the times, and they are definitely the future generation, the future leaders of their generation, if you like, of heavy metal, traditional style heavy metal. It's just freaking great. As I say, I've been listening to this album pretty much daily over the last few weeks, and I'm totally hooked. I'm totally sold on Tailgunner. I am currently plotting and looking into the logistics of catching them on their upcoming UK tour. So October 13th being the start of that tour, I believe. Playing a few notorious stages and venues. It's certainly going to be good for their growth and popularity. So, as I say, if you like heavy metal, if you like Enforcer, Toledo Steel, if you like Iron Maiden, if you like Samson, Tigers, yeah, if you like your traditional heavy metal, and NWOBHM in particular, because of course they are a new wave of British heavy metal band, but, well, a little bit too late for the original new wave of British heavy metal. Too late for that party, about 40 years too late, in fact, but a seriously worthwhile band. Check them out. Nothing but glorious heavy metal here. In particular, you want to check out Shadows of War. You want to check out White Death, and I'd say Crash Dive. Those are some of the essential tracks on this particular ditty. What are your thoughts and opinions on the mighty Tailgunner? Of course, pinching their name from a little bit of an underrated Iron Maiden track, I would say. But I don't know if that is definitely where they got it from, but certainly sounds like it to me. But what are your thoughts on this great band? If you've never heard them, they're a band you need to hear and you need to check them out. It's well worth your time. Check out those previously mentioned tracks and just pick up a copy of Guns for Hire. Currently, it's about a tenner on Amazon, so it's definitely worth every penny. Thanks for watching, my friends. Please do feel free to like and subscribe. Please feel free to comment and get some chat going. Check back soon for more reviews and recommendations of all the good heavy things. But above all, my friends, do take care of yourselves and stay freaking heavy.